We have seen a relief rally during the summer months from the really carnage of the first quarter, particularly in bond markets, but also in equity markets. I would say that the Chinese have put politics in front of economics for the time being, at least until their party congress is over. So they are really broadly suffering. And then there is this central bank meeting in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And I think, quite frankly, that the tougher the central banks will talk and also act here to fight inflation credibly, the more bullish I would be on the outlook for equities. But shorter term, after the relief rally in this summer, which brought back the classic sectors, growth, of course, and underperforming defensive sectors, I would say that September, October will be a testing time. So it's way too early to really put up exposure, but take some gains from the relief rally. And then lastly, there are wide differences between the regions. I think the US is by far in the best position, and Europe has a winter of discontent ahead of themselves.
Let me ask you about the risks in terms of the market and the participants in this market. You had an intriguing line in your notes about the potential danger of a major financial accident. Where do you think the weak hands are right now, and what would it take to expose them and to generate a more systemic crisis?
Not expect a systemic crisis, really not even in the Eurozone. But of course, there are weak links. It can be over-leveraged emerging market economies. We have seen sovereign defaults in Sri Lanka and Zambia. But, mainly it can be European banks and it can be over-leveraged corporates or leveraged buyout structures. Because we should not underestimate that interest rates have risen significantly the last 6 to 9 months, and higher interest rates are eating through the economic system and having an impact, of course, on business confidence, on consumer confidence, and on anyone who has a leveraged exposure to those interest rates and not enough revenues, top line, or simply a cushion in terms of cash or reserves. So I would say that into fall, there is a real risk that there is some financial accident, but then I have no doubts that policymakers would really address this, even in the Eurozone, where there is fragmentation risk with the Italian elections, and then really central banks would blink again, and it would be certainly a time to pile up on quality risk assets.